welcome to another interesting lesson, Different Kind of Schools, written by E.V. Lucas. Here we are going to introduce you to different kinds of schools, not the building, different kind of learning methods that are taught in different schools for different abled children and disabled children. Come along, I'll explain you better. Before going into the lesson, children, I'll take you to a journey of different kind of schools and the methodology that is being taught in each school.
Children with disabilities are among the most vulnerable and excluded in the world. Their rights are often violated. Hidden at home or placed in special institutions, a child with disabilities often misses out on education. They grow up apart from their families. Parents fear their children with disabilities will be mocked and won't have a chance to take part in society. The World Report on Disabilities estimates that 1 in 10 children under the age of 15 lives with disabilities, meaning they are not unusual. Despite the challenges, many countries in Central and Eastern Europe and in Central Asia are making positive changes in their lives.
Everyone in my class thinks that I am a good friend and a good student.
Alexa is a satisfied and happy boy who lives in a healthy environment with friends who accept him and teachers who meet his needs when it's necessary.
UNICEF is working with governments to support education systems, families, and children to reduce inequities created by social exclusion.
When as many children as possible have access to quality education, it's good for the society as such, because then you enrich the whole society also at the same time.
Armenia, Montenegro, and Serbia recently demonstrated to UNICEF's executive board the progress they've made. That includes changing policies to ensure that children with disabilities are provided with quality, inclusive education. That means giving each and every child an opportunity to learn at their local school, with enough support to reach their full potential.
With the adoption of the law, we have made it possible for every child to be enrolled in school. We crafted and designed individual programs for each student.
Inclusive education does not require special schools, care, expensive materials, or specialized expertise. It simply means all students, including children with disabilities, should have the opportunity to receive individualized services and approaches to learning.
We raised awareness so that everyone understands that education of children with special needs is key to their future development.
As a result of these efforts, more schools in Serbia are now welcoming children with disabilities. In Montenegro, there's been increased public demand for inclusive schools thanks to awareness campaigns, in Armenia through strong support from civil society.
Just imagine a world where all children are included, involved, where their talents are celebrated, where their contributions are recognized. That is the world towards which UNICEF is working.
Children with disabilities are now starting to attend local schools, make friends, and grow up to be active members of
Grade 6, Subject English. Today's lesson, A Different Kind of School. I am your language teacher, Shanti ma'am. Today's aim and objective. Schools have to be a hub to make students more thoughtful and responsible citizens. This is the aim of this chapter. We also will analyze how the concepts taught in the school helps the students to understand the chapter and fare well in their exams. The learning outcome of this chapter is the writer wants every child to get sensitized about the problem faced by differently abled children. Also, we need to know how privileged we are as normal children. I am going to introduce you to 3 great people who were differently abled. The first one is Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking suffered from ALS, a neurodegenerative disease that wears away the nerves and muscle function over time. You can see him in the wheelchair. A father for theoretical physicist. Now it's Helen Keller. She was also differently abled. She was an American author, political activist, and a lecturer. She was the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Art degree, in spite of being differently abled. You can see her with her teacher. She learnt Braille to communicate. Albert Einstein, who developed the theory of relativity. He also had a disability. Dyslexia. It is a specific disorder for learning to read, interpreting words, letters, and other symbols. But he was a great inventor. Students, look at the pictures. One is the school for differently able children and one is a school for normal children. Now it's time for brainstorming. Have you heard about different kind of schools? Then you have 2 questions that you can ponder on. What are the challenges or difficulties a physically challenged child faces? Did you spend a day trying to work with one hand or blindfolding only for a day? Students, there is an activity which you can do with your family members. Make your sibling and cousins to do all the activity of the day by blindfolding them for a few minutes or tying their hands. This helps them to understand how privileged they are and how they have to enhance empathy and kindness towards differently able children. Word in focus. Discover. Meaning find unexpectedly. Conjugation. Discover, discovered, discovered, discovering, discovers. Derivative. Discoverable is an adjective. Discoverer is a noun. Usage. Albert Einstein discovered the theory of relativity.
A Different Kind of School by E.V. Lucas. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. When I arrived, there was no one in sight but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy, who was about 4 years younger. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Miss Beam was all that I had expected. Middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others and being responsible citizens. Look out of the window a minute, will you? I went to the window, which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see 2 more with the same difficulty. and there's a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. Miss Beam laughed. "Oh no," she said. "She's not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day." I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. This is a very important part of our system, to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, and they are on their honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. There is no misery about it, Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind, and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though, even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. The blind day is, of course, really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouths, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. "Here's a gentleman come to talk to you," said Miss Beam, and left us. "Don't you ever peep?" I asked the girl. "Oh no," she exclaimed. "That would be cheating." But I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. "Are your helpers kind to you?" I asked. "Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you'd try." "Shall I lead you anywhere?" I asked. "Oh yes," she said. "Let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days can't be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help and things like that. I don't think I'll mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I'll get hurt." "Where are we now?" "In the playground," I said. "We're walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl." "What is the girl wearing?" my little friend asked. "A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse." "I think it's Millie," she said. "What color is her hair?" "Very light," I said. "Yes, that's Millie. She's the head girl." "There's an old man tying up roses," I said. "Yes, that's Peter. He's the gardener. He's hundreds of years old." "And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She's on crutches. That's Anita," she said. And so we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. "Ah," she replied, "then there is something in my system after all."
After reading the lesson loud with the help of the video, I hope you all have understood the moral that school education should teach thoughtfulness, kindness, and being a responsible citizen. I hope everyone has unanimously agreed to this. I hope everyone have learned the value, how to be compassionate, how to be kind, and how to be caring when you see differently abled children in our class. So I hope today's learning outcome is very clear to all of you. Bye from Shanti ma'am.